Hello and welcome to another edition of Fermanagh GAA TV. This evening we're coming from the excellent surroundings of Ballycoo, and as you can see on my left hand side, it's Dara Glen and Derry Donnelly, not Cormac, who you're probably used to seeing. Cormac, I'm afraid, had to step out due to busy work commitments. So Dara, it's a welcome on the show for you.
Thank you very much for it.
Of course, to my right hand side as well, this man's going to need no introduction. I'm sure every cornerback playing for Fermanagh Senior Football League Division 1 knows him too well. He was second top scorer in last year's Fermanagh Senior Football Championship. Johnny Fee, welcome to the show.
Cheers, Barry. So men, as we know, it's a very big weekend for Fermanagh football, and before we go into that, we'll take a quick recap of the club scene in Division 1. At the minute, after 7 games played, Ederney are sitting top of the table on 10 points, and if we look closely there, the top 6 teams are only separated by 3 points. So coming up at the midway stage of the table, it seems like it's still all to play for. Porrick, you want to shed a bit more light?
Certainly is. You're saying that there's 6 teams, only a few points between them. One of them teams, of course, Johnny's Ballycoo. You started the season terrifically. He's won the first opening 3 league fixtures. Since then, the last 4 games, he's only picked 1 point up, but there were possibly 8 points. Like, what's actually went wrong in Ballycoo?
Porrick wouldn't say anything's went wrong as such. I think that started the league very well. 3 wins from 3. That's what we wanted. And this last 4 games we failed to pick up a win, which is disappointing. I suppose the turning point was against Tempo. We were 6-7 points up with about 10 minutes to go, and we just didn't see the game out, and unfortunately we only got a point out of the game. And the last 3 games we've failed to get a win, and I suppose the break probably came at the right time for it.
Yeah, it seems to be that sort of league this year that you can't take nothing for granted. Just looking as well there, Johnny, Ballycoo's the second best defence this year in Division 1. He's only conceded 77 points in 7 games, which works out at 11 points. So the defence is playing great for you?
Yeah, well, the defence is a strong point of our team. We have the Leonards in there, and there's a lot of forwards in the county have had hard times with the Leonards, and I suppose, as you say that part, the defence is doing well, but we have to look at the other aspect. The forwards probably aren't producing the goods, and I suppose with Shane McCabe and Big Stephen McGuire coming back, hopefully that will boost the attack and a few more scores in the board.
But for now, we'll leave it that we'll blame it on the Ballycoo forwards.
And Porrick, taking a look at the Division 2 league at the minute, it's another closely fought battle. All to play for still as well.
It certainly is. I think the last few years you've often seen the 2 teams relegated from Division 1, you're right back up the following season. So this year it's pressure on Lisnaskea and Connolly. This year though they've been joined by Irvinstown and Maguire's Bridge. Them 4 clubs are definitely pushing for Division 1 next season for that cut-off. And at a toss you probably make it look like Adam C. But at the minute the team that's really caught my eye has been Irvinstown. They've been superb over the last couple of games. They've only 2 games left before the split, and that's again Enniskillen and Derry Lynn. No disrespect to the Gales and the O'Connells, but it looks like Irvinstown will be getting full quota points there. They're top scorers in the division, and it just looks like Irvinstown and Lisnaskea for me at the moment are the 2 teams to beat. You do also have Maguire's Bridge v Lisnaskea coming up in the next few weeks, and that'll be a bit of a humdinger or a toss of the coin game as well. But as per usual, Division 2, very hard to get out of. Just pushing on here as well from Division 2 football. Johnny Ballycoo, let's be honest, you did a mixed season in 2013. You've only just stayed up in the league. You beat Russell out here 16 points then in the league game, I remember.
Yeah. And
of course you've made that memorable championship final. In your eyes, Ballycoo people's eyes, was it a successful year for you?
Well, it's hard to know, Porrick, was it a successful year? At the end of the day, success is judged on what you win, and effectively we didn't win anything last year. But I suppose, if we use the experience that we got last year from, gaining a bit of momentum, getting over that first round that we hadn't done in 7 or 8 years, and we use the experience that we gained from that, and we go on and get 1 step further this year and ultimately win the championship. Last year will have been a success.
I see Damien Gormley and Adrian McCallion, 2 good men to work with.
Yeah, definitely. The 2 boys, very good to work with. Damien's very fitness orientated, and we'll have to avoid these chocolate biscuits and get a wee bit fitter,
Yeah. Not easy with Ballycoo. I think they're playing the winners of Rossley and Lisnaskea in the senior championship, so no easy game there. Moving on again, Dara, we're bringing Sunday's action, the huge Ulster Championship game, Fermanagh v Antrim in Brewster Park. You played for Fermanagh Miners back in maybe too long?
2005, Porrick.
What do you remember that time?
No, it's a while ago, so I don't remember too much. I played member of the squad in 2005, and we were under Jerry Moan. It was a difficult year. It's at that age, the boys have club commitments, county commitments, school commitments, and then exams on top of that at the end of the year. So yeah, a very busy year, I'd say. But our run, we were beat in the championship by Armagh by 4 or 5 points in Columbus, and that was after a disappointing league campaign. Very disheartening, but at the same time a really rewarding experience to play in front of a full crowd in Clonus before the senior game. It's at that age now, it's a brilliant day out.
And what sort of Fermanagh players did you play with that year that's now pushed on to senior?
Yeah, a few boys are on the senior panel now. There's Marty O'Brien, Barry Malone and Owen Donnelly, of course.
Right.
I would have played alongside those boys, and Seamus Quigley would have been a member of that panel too.
Right.
And just for the boys that are going to be playing on Sunday, it just goes to show that if you stick with it, that you will make it through onto the senior panel.
Yeah.
Just keep putting in the hard work at the training sessions.
Yeah, some good advice.
And Porrick, I know that league form doesn't mean much when it comes to championship day, but you haven't missed a minor league game yet this year. What kind of form are they in, or how are they looking on Sunday?
Thanks for throwing that one in, Dara. Yeah, without a doubt, Fermanagh Minors, let's be honest, we're going to be up against it on Sunday. I was at some of the games, well, most of the games, and looking at the team, you have Rory McCaffrey, tempo wing half back, an excellent player. Good score takers in the team, JJ O'Brien, Matthew McGrath and Donagh. They can all take a score, but Antrim, they're a good side. They beat Fermanagh this year in Brewster Park, 3-10 to 9 points. Scoring has been Fermanagh's Achilles heel at the same time though. They've only mustered something like 0.7 on average each game. But the good thing about minor football, and this is what gives every Fermanagh person a chance on Sunday, you just don't know, when the ball's through up in the middle, Benale McKenna on at 145, you just don't know what performance hopefully Fermanagh can put out of the bag. So here's fingers crossed. Johnny, it's also a big one then come 3:30 on Sunday, the Senior Ulster Championship game. Let's be honest, can Fermanagh record a first Ulster Championship victory since 2010 when we beat Cavan?
I think Porrick definitely can. I suppose at the start of the year, Fermanagh were hand-picking a first round tie, would have been Antrim. But I suppose if you look at the other side, Antrim, if they had a hand-pick, probably would have been Fermanagh. So both teams are probably going to win, confident that they can get a championship victory and face Donegal in the semi-final. But definitely think Fermanagh can get a 2-3 point win. I suppose, Porrick, if you're looking at it from a betting point of view, and I know you're a keen bettor, Fermanagh are 4-9, and at that price it looks like a one horse race. But I think it's far from it, and I think it's going to be a very tight game on Sunday, and maybe Fermanagh will be 2-3 points.
Here's hoping.
And then, do you think the home advantage and the home crowd is going to make a big difference come Sunday?
I certainly think they will. Fermanagh had a good record in the National League. I know Roscommon defeated us, but look what Roscommon have went on to do. But Fermanagh have been picking up the scores. Sean Quigley's thankfully back. Him and Tomas Corrigan I think would be a defender's nightmare. They have a good base in midfield, Owen Donnelly and Richard O'Callaghan. I'll be honest, at the start of the year I just thought Richard O'Callaghan, he wouldn't cut it in midfield for Fermanagh. He's proved himself wrong and plenty of other Fermanagh supporters too, I'm sure. So fair play to Richard O'Callaghan. It's a good midfield. Ryan Jones is playing some classic stuff for Derry Donnelly and at number 11 for Fermanagh. So here's hoping Fermanagh can do it, but they are looking at Antrim as well though. The name of the team there today, there's the likes of Bam Mason, the McCanns, not easy men to mark.
Yeah, there's definitely some top class forwards in there, and the Fermanagh defenders are going to have their hands full. Like you say, those two McCann brothers, absolute flyers.
Yeah.
So here's hoping that they can do the business. Antrim, they've tied up some tight scorelines now in the past few weeks.
Right.
They've 2-7 and racked up 3-15 in a few games. So I know that Pete McGrath's come out and said in an interview that he's aware that the Fermanagh defence has been a bit porous and a bit frail in the last few games, but I'm glad to see him address that. And he said in training they've worked hard on that. So I think the boys, maybe McCluskey is going to have that experience, and Jay Cullen's going to have the youth and the legs hopefully to run after those boys. And
just looking after last Sunday's game where Donegal met Derry, I think afterwards Jim McGuinness said that he got the whole players, marked the correct player. Would you be putting certain Fermanagh players on these like Nasons and McCanns come Sunday?
I would, yeah. I think the matchups now are going to be a crucial part of the game. It's not going to be where you can just put 15 against 15 and pick up your man. It's going to be man marking. Specifically taking, say like John Woods, he's going to be young, quick, and pick up maybe one of the McCanns.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
And I don't know who we're going to put in midfield. Is maybe Owen Donnelly going to pick up this? Is it the Aussie rules?
McKeever,
that's right, sorry.
He'll probably play in around the square, I'd say 14.
Is that right? Okay. So Johnny, just on the final note, we know you were the second top scorer in last year's senior championship. If Pete McGrath was to come calling or knocking on your door, would you give the Fermanagh squad a chance?
Jeez, I wouldn't look too much into the scoring charts or anything like that there, but I suppose since started playing football, any young lad aspires to playing for the county, and seniors, and playing with minors and under 21s, and obviously I'd love to play for the county, but I suppose the levels of fitness and stuff that's needed at the minute, I'd be a right bit away from that at the minute, but I suppose that's up to myself to put the work in and see what happens.
That's it, the talent's there, we've all seen that out on the pitch.
Best luck to you. Folks, that's pretty much all we have time for. What we can say from the whole three of us here is the absolute best luck to the Fermanagh minor and senior teams, Niall Jackman and Pete McGrath. Absolute best of luck to you lads. We're fully behind you. Let's hope for a double victory, and let's all hope we're facing Donegal come Sunday at 5 o'clock in Ulster semi-final. I've been Port McGurn, he's been Dara Glynn, he's been Johnny Feely. Get out Sunday and let's support Fermanagh.